Greetings everyone. I want to start off with a short review. This is just any type of square that we've used before, and we've learned that if I wanted to sketch on the middle of this, I could reference back my feature tree and select the front plane and now be sketching on the middle of this. That's something we've learned prior. I want to show you a new skill now. So what I'd like you to do is start off. It does not matter which plane, it does not matter what measurement unit. Just go ahead and make for me just some type of rectangle. In fact, I'm not even going to smart dimension this. Just bring it out to the 3D world. Alright. Feel free to pause this video as often as you like, so to make sure I don't get too far ahead of you. Now, as far as you know, the only planes we know exist are the planes around the origin, which happen to be the front, the top, and the right. But today I'd like to show you how to create planes that are not centered around the origin. So to do this, we'll start off with this nice rectangular prism. And while Features is selected, please click Reference Geometry. Then click Plane. The property manager changes, and we can see we have a couple of references, first, second, and third. By default, the first reference will be blue, which means this is what we're selecting. And I want you to go over here and select the right side of the shape you just created. And when you do so, this plane, blue plane, appears. And I'll go back to my property manager, and I can change the distance of that plane. Or I can physically type it in. If I click OK, we now have a plane that is not on the origin. So I'll hit spacebar, and I want to look directly at this plane. In fact, I'd like to sketch on this plane now. If I right click, again that's right click over plane 1, I could choose sketch. Now I'll be sketching on this right plane, and I'll just choose another rectangle, and it doesn't matter what it is. And I'm not even going to smart dimension. I'm just going to use an extrusion and accept. You can see now I was able to draw another piece that is not touching the first one based off of a new plane. Now I can, if I left click and choose hide, I can turn the plane off, or I can keep it visible and click show. Either way. So what I'd like you to do excuse me, is to practice this a couple of times, choosing different types of surfaces. Only stick with first reference for now. And maybe flip the offset, flip it in a different direction. Click OK. We'll look at the bottom now. And we will now choose sketch. And you could choose any sketch you want. I'll choose a circle this time. Oops. Let's make that a little bit larger. And go ahead and extrude that out in any way, but play around with this. That is my first tutorial.